Seated to my left, to your right, starting with closest to me, Tom Brands of Iowa, Kevin Jackson of Iowa State, John Smith of Oklahoma State, Jay Robinson of Minnesota, and Cael Sanderson of Penn State. I'd like to just open up, starting with Coach Brands, and go down the line. I'd like you each to give us just a short synopsis of where you think your team is here heading into this 2013 championship. Then we will field questions from the media, starting with Coach Brands.
Home event is good, and when I say home, we're in the home state, and you're in a familiar territory, more or less. So I don't know how much of an advantage that is unless you go out and wrestle hard. That's what we got to do. One match at a time, all the things that you guys are used to hearing coaches say. So you're not going to hear a lot of predictions, but we just got to be ready to have 9 guys going forward the way that they can go forward.
Coach Jackson.
I guess being a host school, you have your privileges, and that's probably why I'm up here with these guys right now. They're all in the hunt, and it's exciting to be sitting amongst them. We're excited about the event. We have some very good athletes going tomorrow for the weekend. 4 of our athletes wrestling this weekend are from the state of Iowa. They wrestled their state championship here in Wells Fargo. 3 of them won state championships here in Wells Fargo, 2 of them multiple times. So we're excited. Our events department, Iowa State's events department, has done a great job. I think all coaches would agree that what they've seen so far, from the videos in front of the warm-up area to the arena, to every aspect of the event, the NCAA as well as our athletics department, events department have done a great job, and that's going to continue through the weekend.
Coach Smith.
Well, we're excited about the tournament, and we look forward to earning our way into the picture. I don't think any team here is anything given. I think you're going to have to earn it, and we obviously know for us to be successful here, we're going to have to earn some top wins. We've done a pretty good job all year long. Most of our performances through the year have been pretty consistent. Been a consistent group. Been a group that I've enjoyed working with quite a bit. And normally the outcome is pretty good. So we're looking forward to the tournament, and we know it's going to be exciting.
Coach Robinson.
I think that pretty much echo what all the other coaches say. Our team, we brought all 10 guys, and they're pretty excited about being here. Obviously, this is what everybody looks forward to towards the end of the year, and we've had some good wins this year, and we stumbled a few times, but we had a pretty good Big Ten tournament, and we made a few errors there, and so it's a chance for us to come back. And I think that what Kevin said is there's 4 or 5 teams here in the hunt, and it's going to go to the team that is really prepared and ready to win, and that's what makes it exciting. It's everybody talks about seeds and everything else, and the thing that I say, it's the national tournament. So and that's the way it is, and you've been coming for years, and it's exciting. It's exciting. It's exciting to be in the state of Iowa, where people appreciate wrestling, and it's fun to come back here. So because there's going to be great crowd and fan applause throughout the whole tournament as each team vies for a championship, and the individuals try to win their own personal ones.
Coach Sanderson.
Well, it's going to be a great tournament, and we're grateful for this opportunity. And just like everyone said, I think it just comes down to who chooses to go up there and win, basically. And we're excited about our team. I think our team's improved throughout the year, and we should be able to do well if we choose to. So that's the exciting part. We just sit back now and see what our guys do.
Okay, don't ask your question until I have called on you, but we are open for questions for coaches.
Cael, I'm going to start with you, and it deals with this new format. so-called main event, and obviously you were pointing at one of your guys. And I wanted to know your thoughts about this. Then afterwards, any of the other coaches wanted to comment on it, I'd like to know your thoughts. Is it good for wrestling? Should they do it in the future?
Well, I don't know if it's. I don't think it could be bad for wrestling. It's. I think you're going to get mixed reviews from the coaches and the fans just based on tradition. But if you look at other sports, they seem to have a main event and it seems to work. So why not give it a shot? I think it falls on the kids. It puts a little bit more on them, but that's what they want, right? I mean, you want to be the best, and you want to be the big match. Well, now now they have that chance. So I'm not saying I'm for it. I haven't really put a whole lot of thought into it, but it doesn't really matter what I think anyways, so it should be fun.
Does anyone else want to comment on that? Thank you. Next question.
Coach Jackson, obviously everybody knows about the adversity you guys have faced this week. How focused maybe Cael is? How focused has your team been dealing with the adversity you've had to face?
Well, I think we've been extremely focused over the last few months. It was a major distraction with Cael going through his situation with his father. But I think he's dealt with it like the champion he is, a champion that he's been raised to be. I think he's embraced this opportunity to wrestle in the national championship. I'm not sure how much more motivation he needed for a national championship, but obviously his father passing is something that I've never had to deal with, and he seems to be handling it very, very well, as well as his teammates, and I think it's a motivating factor. And we'll see first thing in the morning how it's affected him.
Next question.
For Coach Brands. You guys have kind of had an up and down season, some really bright spots, some spots probably you guys weren't so happy about. Coming into this, the last week of practice, is it more getting them in the right mindset? Is it fine-tuning skills? Is it just a combination of both to get them to, optimal performance?
I think, individual sport is an individual approach to each guy, and you're getting ready to go and get them ready to wrestle their best tournament one match at a time. I could probably answer that a little bit longer if you want me to. There's not a lot of, you don't just do 180s and go different directions. You're referring to the national duels and you look at our rounds at the Big Tens, and is that a concern? I mean, we got to have consistent performance to do well here. So it's a concern if you're trying to win the tournament, absolutely. But we believe in our guys too, so.
This question's for Coach Smith. Coach, you got a couple guys that are here making their first appearance in the NCAA championship. You've got a couple freshmen. You've also got a kid that's won a national championship at another level. How much are you going to have to rely on those guys to give you those points to put you in contention for that top #1 trophy?
Well, you got to rely on all of them. That's an easy question. So it doesn't matter if it's your first time. There's been a lot of guys come here for the first time and have a lot of success. So, I think some of our first timers, a couple freshmen, pretty good year, and need to make it a great year. This is where you can make it great. So, we can't really afford to see, too many negatives. We just need to give ourselves every reason to have a lot of positive. So, I believe that right now we're in a good place to do that, and if there's any question, again, a team that has a lot of success is going to earn it, going to win those tough bouts.
Next question. Bryce.
Tom, realizing that none of this is ever decided on paper, but as a coach coming into the tournament, maybe of John and Jay, I thought too, do you break down on paper potential points and think about what, as Penn State being a two-time defending champ, what kind of a hill are other teams climbing in the team race, and have you thought of it in those terms at all?
No, and I don't know if I ever think of it in those terms. I think the path has been laid out at 10 weights if you want to look ahead. you're going to fill out your bracket or whatever. We know that we have to do some damage along the way, and it has to be damage in our favor. And that's 9 guys doing what our 9 guys can do very consistently. He referred to an up and down season, and he's correct. And we can't have up and down. I mean, you can look at the Big Ten was an up and down tournament as well. Can't have up and down. It's got to be solid like this.
My question is to all of you guys, if you feel like you can answer it. I'm seeing 4 Olympic champions and an Olympian sitting in front of me right now. In the last few weeks, the sport of wrestling has been dealing with some challenges internationally. And just if any of you guys want to have a little perspective on your take about what's going on and just your thoughts about the sport of wrestling right now and the situation we're dealing with the International Olympic Committee.
I think we have the right people in the right spot right now to move the efforts forward with the selection of the committee that USA Wrestling has put together. We have some very powerful and capable and educated people to lead the rest of the world to getting wrestling back in the Olympic Games. We have to keep the pressure on. We have to keep it at the forefront of everyone's minds and thoughts. And so that has to continue from all of us sitting here and the people that are really in charge with amateur wrestling in the United States and international wrestling around the world. So it's something we're going to continue to fight. I see that Des Moines and the NCAA and the Vince departments have done a great job of posting signs, Save Olympics Wrestling, and all the things that they're doing. But we have to keep the pressure on until decisions are made, and we can't let up one single bit. And we do have people in place that are working very hard to make sure that that happens.
Anybody else?
Well, I'm on the committee, and I'll just say that I've enjoyed watching the direction that we've gone in and the positive that's come out of it. I really enjoy the cry from the worldwide wrestling community. And I think we'll look back on it honestly and going, this was a great thing. It gave us an opportunity to be seen, it gave us an opportunity to be heard. We've had some pretty, important people in the world that have stepped up and have let the ILC know their voice and their concern. Every day you're seeing that. Maybe people that haven't been involved in wrestling for a while, but yet it's important in their country have spoken out and letting the ILC know that this is unacceptable. So I like the direction it's going in. And it doesn't mean we should feel comfortable at all. It just means that good things are occurring. Quite a few people are involved across this world, and it's been a campaign. I'll share this with you. That has been incredible how quickly it came together. I don't think anyone could have come together so quickly in the world in anything else. And wrestling came together quickly, got established, committees all over the world, and started the fight early. So that tells you a little bit about the sport and the people involved in it and the passion that comes with wrestling.
Next question, Luke.
Yeah, piggybacking a little bit on what Gary said, when you look at this weekend, a city that's rolled out the red carpet for you, every seat is sold. It looks like it's going to be a great competition between 5 or 6 schools. Is this almost sort of like the ultimate advertisement for the health of the sport moving forward?
Well, I think the NCAA tournament is, has the greatest fan support and just from sheer numbers and TV exposure than any other wrestling event in the world. And it happens to be my favorite wrestling event every year. It's a great, anyone that comes to the national tournament, they're coming back. That's just the way it works. I mean, that's why the tickets are hard to get, because once you've been and witness the excitement, and whether you're have a team or you don't have a team, or you're following an individual, or whatever reason you'd be here, you're going to come back because you're going to love it here. And it's a great venue, just for our sport, and you see that by the coverage continuing to increase. That it's not only going to be great in here in Wells Fargo Arena, but it's going to be people all over the country, sitting tight to their TVs watching what's going on right here. It's so yeah.
This is John. This is for you. Apparently, they're adding overtimes, or video replays. I think you guys have 3 options. Is that correct? Considering last year's finals at 133, you had a weight that was questionable. Could you talk about how much this will change this event?
Well, I don't know until we see it. I'll tell you, I don't think any of the coaches up here disliked it at their dual meets. So we'll just have to find out. It's going to be times we're going to have to go through it probably. And is it holding up the tournament? Is it holding up, matches? I do believe that it's the right thing. Gives an official or officials a chance to look at a situation that may be solved differently. No, I think we made a good decision on putting it in. I shouldn't say we, they did it. Coaches really didn't have a choice in it, which is good.
Question?
It's for Cael. You guys won the last 2 years, and I want to get to peaking, basically. Is there anything you do in the last, from Big Tens to now, that you don't have to get into specifics, but is consistent, and you're like, wow, the last 2 years, this is the way we trained. Let's, repeat it. Trying to get the guys to peak, tape, or whatever you want to call it.
Well, I think you're always, as a coach, you always have to be taking notes, and this worked, this didn't work, and coaching's a work in progress, just like anything else. And if something works, you do it again. If it doesn't work, you drop it, and that's been what we've been doing. But for it's just every team's a little bit different, so it's a different answer for each group and different answer for each kid. They're going through different things in their lives at different times, and it's just a matter, I think, for us, it's just a matter of getting to know the kids well enough that we can read them a little bit better to know what they need and what they don't need, but for the most part, what I've learned as a coach is the best thing I can do is just get that guy out of their way and not screw things up for them.
Any more questions?
Similar and related one for anybody that wants it. How has your approach to coaching, and especially your approach to this tournament, changed since you started your coaching career at this level?
Who wants to tackle that? Who will tackle it?
Or not,
Any other questions?
Coach Brands, if you don't mind, it would seem you'd have the home field advantage, if you will. How much does that really help your wrestlers on the mat?
Can I tell you Saturday night? I mean, seriously, you make it work for you or you don't, and you do that with, a lot of times it comes down to sheer willpower. I mean, does it? I think it does. I think it comes down to toughness and smarts and mat savvy and a lot of things. So let's just go out there and make it work for us, and then that'd be the reason why. So, I said it 5 or 6 times already. We got to have 9 guys that wrestle very hard consistently, every round, every match, every position.
Any other questions? Coaches, thank you very much.